we saw some basics of Excel. We'll see lookup functions, and we'll see filtering and conditional filtering as well. And then we'll see conditional formatting, things like that. So we'll start with lookup functions. Okay. For that, we need data. I already have one data set with me. I will share this data set with you. So for now, we'll just see what is happening. So this is an orders data. Okay. You have the option of like I've already downloaded data. You can open it with Excel, or you can just go to data, and if you want to like get data from some other source, you can do that. You have this data source setting as well, where you can just click on the particular path name, and you can just check that as well. So if you want to connect it with website, you can do that. If you want to connect it directly from your downloads data set. So as you know, as you can see, that's my my name and my download folder, and there we have this superstores data, XLS data, for which we are using this particular source to grab this data. Okay, so you can check that as well, or simply download it and click it and open it right from your data downloads source as well. So that you can do you when you so this contains data, the sheet contains data. If you want to like explore other things, like you can click on data, get power, you can see all these options are open for you. You can check and you can use these options to get data as well. Okay, you have the option of data getting data from picture as well. So you can get a picture from any file, and like any clipboard. If you've copied some picture and it's there on your clipboard, you can do that and bring it here. You have the option of doing queries and connection. Okay, these you can explore, but they all will give you data in terms of basically rows and columns. And I've chosen this data because it has multiple things to explore. Okay, and there are multiple things that we can use and see how it is done. So first thing first, we will do what we'll do is we will divide this data into two different part, just to showcase how lookup functions work. So you can see there are multiple columns in it. Okay, and there's an order ID and there is row ID. Basically, not necessary that row ID and order ID will be same. Okay, we'll try it. If at all it is same, it's fine, or else we'll just explore other data. Okay, so I'll just start from state or province. Okay, and then cut it. Just Control X. Go to sheet 1 and paste it here. Okay. Now, if you want to divide the data, you have this option to do that. Now it's a table. What you need to do is select everything, whatever you have cut from here, and these rows, if you want to get rid of, just do command, or in case of Windows, control, and then click on minus. Okay, what it will do is it will get rid of all the rows that you had and shift it in the left hand side. We'll talk about this separately. Don't worry about this, ignore that part for now. So now we have row ID and all the other values, and now in the sheet 1 data 2, you have all the rows with order ID. Okay, now for VLOOKUP, okay, there are two types of lookups in Excel. There is one VLOOKUP and there is one Hlookup. VLOOKUP is basically vertical lookup. Hlookup is basically horizontal lookup. Okay, we'll talk about both. So what happens in VLOOKUP is it will take the values considering one particular key, and then if you want to match that value to another data source, and then bring a particular column for yourself in this particular data source, then you can do that. So how we do it, I don't know if order ID and row ID will match or not, but you will see what is the difference. If it matches, if it doesn't, then what is the difference. Okay, so click on equal to and then type VLOOKUP. and then open up a bracket. You can see lookup value. Okay, so I want to look up I and then I2. So we have selected I2 and then the table array. Okay, if you click on comma, it will go to table array. So go to that table from where you want to get data. Get a row. I click on A1, or you can click on A2 as well. Doesn't matter. It won't take the first row anyway. It won't get the matching key anyway. And then select everything. Okay. And suppose if you want to get, okay, select everything and then write down comma. Okay. And suppose you want to get the information from the second column. Okay, so as you can see, column index number is highlighted. Okay, so second column. Okay, click on comma. Okay, now you have the option of like range of lookup. So range lookup, I don't know why range lookup is set, because it gives you only two binary options: true for approximate match and false for exact match. Okay, once you click on approximate match, it will take all the values. So suppose in case of names like uh, suppose Ramesh and Ram. Okay, and suppose my key is Ram in the destination data source and Ramesh in case of sourced data, basically. So it will match approximately that Ram and Ramesh and will give you the value of second column. But in this case, we will go for exact match. So either you can write false. I prefer to write zero. So it's binary anyways. So 0 and 1. So this particular order ID is not matching with any of the row. Okay, we have selected all the order IDs. So basically, it is not giving
Rahul,
any
if you
value.
do not mind, can you please explain once again?
Yeah, sure. So I will check out all the values. Okay. So suppose I want to go to orders and okay, I want to get that which order ID has high priority. Okay, high, low, or critical, whatever. So I want to get order priority. So click on order priority and I want to bring it here instead of copy pasting, because if we copy paste, suppose these numbers right now, it is all sorted. It's I mean exact value that we have matched. If we want to like grab it from there, we need to use VLOOKUP. If you type VLOOKUP and suppose you have to match it from the order ID. Okay, I2. So it's order ID. It's your key, first thing that you need to write. Okay, and then go to your orders and then click on the entire data set, whatever you have. Okay, so entire data set is selected. So as you can see, orders and hashtag AI all basically it's saying. So sometimes in particular windows, it won't say hashtag all. It will give you a range from A1 to whatever P1953. Okay, but in this case, it is in Mac it will just showcase all. So yeah, you will click on that and then click on comma, and then you will have the column index number. So as we mentioned that we want order priority column in our data in the data 2 sheet. So the first column is our row ID and the second column is our data order priority. Okay, so click on 2 and then you'll have the option of approximate match and exact match. I'll just click on 0 and close the bracket and click on enter. It's not giving me any value because order ID is not matching with the row ID. Okay, let's see if any of the data has matched. If it won't match, it will give you the NA, but yeah, it has matched in some cases. So just remove NA and we'll see that these are part of these values only. The out of 1953 values, unfortunately only 9 values have matched, and basically it is giving you the order priority critical, not specified, low, medium, whatever it is. If you select 1 instead of 0, so it is giving you an approximate match. In this case, it won't be correct because see, if you remove NA, So 1951 out of 1952 records are found. So this one record which was completely not matched was found. It cannot, I mean, it's not necessarily correct because order ID contains some numbers which will be approximately matched with the row ID. Okay. And that way it will give you values. So suppose if you want to match it, just click on high and see there are 1869 rows, which cannot be the case. So only high are 1869, but if you want to match it, here we have only 391 records out of 1952 in high. So this is not exactly matching. So approximate match won't be an answer for us. And it won't be, especially in case of this order ID when we are trying to match it with separate key. Okay, so this was just an example to showcase what is the what are the things that are possible in VLOOKUP. What we'll do is I'll show the exact thing how it works. Okay, so this is order ID. Now what we'll do is, in order to give and get the exact values, we'll take the row ID and we'll paste it here. Insert copied cells. Okay. This is something which is format painting. I'll explain it later. But yeah. So now you have this key row ID in both the data. So this is basically our source, and this is our destination. Okay, so now it's easy. Now you have a source, now you have a destination. Now if you want to explore data, like bring data from source to your destination, you have this row ID. Now before doing that, you can argue that you can just copy paste it from here as well. What's the need of doing basically this particular VLOOKUP? There's no need. Yeah, so what I'll do is I want to sort this data first in terms of profit. Okay, so I want to sort this data by profit from largest to smallest. Okay, and click on OK. So now you can see your data has been sorted from largest value to smallest value, and all the negative values are going down, right? So things like that. So now if you want to just copy paste it from source and put it in the destination, the values will be wrong, right? So now this is unsorted data in your source, and this is sorted data in terms of highest profit values in your destination. Now if you want to bring the priority, so as we were talking, order priority. Okay, so now we can't just copy paste it, right? So what I'll do is I'll again, it's not necessary to bring this column name and paste it here. You can write it down and use it like that also, but just to maintain the similarity between the column names, I've done that. And then click on VLOOKUP. And then again, now we don't want to match it with order ID. We want to match our row ID with the row ID. Okay, so now our key is A2, then click comma, and then go to source. Now either you can do A1 or A2, whatever you want. It's not a problem. And then click on, if I want to just ease out the formula, okay, and I don't have to use it to bring out other values as well. We can do that. We'll just see until customer ID if you want to bring that information. Okay. Yeah, so now we have this data with row ID, order priority, discount, unit price, shipping cost, customer ID. So just see how many rows, how many columns are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so first column is our row ID, ignore that. Second column is our order priority. What we'll do is we'll select this much data. So now it is not showing order all, it is showing now row ID to customer ID, it has selected. Okay, and then click on comma, Then click on 2 because we need, as I mentioned, we need second order priority is the second column. We need second column. And then click on true, approximate match. Even if you want to click on exact match, you can do that. Yeah, we'll do the exact match. Click on enter, and then you will see not specified has come up. And then just click on, just go to the black cursor at the right hand bottom corner and double click on it, and the exact formula will be replicated. Okay. Now there's something wrong with it. Okay. What is wrong? We'll understand what is happening here. Okay. So if you click on again and click on high, it is 391. Okay, cool. If you click on row, it's 398. So maybe that is right. Maybe it's not. We'll just check. Let's see. Low. Okay. 398. So it's fine. It's right. Cool. What is happening here is basically what it is doing in the formula. If you'll see, it is selecting all the rows with row ID and customer ID. Okay. Basically, it is taking the set and like selecting everything and locking it. So I'll tell you what is locking. Now, if you want to, and this is basically a drawback of Mac, unfortunately. So when you'll do it and when you'll do the exact formula in of VLOOKUP in your Windows, what will happen is if you write A2, okay, and like click on source and go to this, instead of row ID, it will give you a value called A2. Okay. It is not giving me the option in Mac. No. Yeah. So what is happening here is it won't give me the option to write down like that in Mac, but you can try it in Windows. Okay. So what is happening here is basically it is locking everything in terms of row ID and customer ID. In when you try it on Windows, what it will do is it will just select A2 and whatever values we have. So if you select A2 to F2 and then click and select all the data, what will happen is it will give you all the rows and columns from A2 to F2, and then everything will be selected, but it won't be locked. So in order to lock it, what we can do is I can show it to you on one particular key. So as we have A2, what you can do is you can put a dollar sign in front of A and put a dollar sign in front of 2. Okay. So now what has happened is when you will just double click on one particular bit, okay, what will happen is it has changed to not specified. Why? Because if you normally observe the formula, what is happening here is even if you move downwards, okay, these values will change internally, okay, but this A2 is locked. It is not changing, right? That's why every row in this particular column order priority is not specified, nothing else. Okay. So this unfortunately in Mac it automatically takes for this rows and columns from from the source. Okay, it has taken all from row ID to customer ID, but in Windows I don't know if the updated version automatically takes. In the previous versions it doesn't, so it's very good to, it's very handy to, it's very important to check that basically and see if it is not locked. So if it is not locked, suppose from your source it is showing data from A2 to suppose we have selected from A2 to F2, and then we have selected from F2 to F93. So A2 to F93 will not be locked basically, and if it is not locked, then it will not give you the exact value. So once it is suppose right now it is, I'm again clicking on the drop down, what will happen is right now it is changing to A3, A4, things like that. So similarly this range will also change, so it is important to lock that. You can try it in Windows, it will showcase it to you. If not, I'll just take a screenshot from my other laptop and mention it in the folder where we keep all the uh, files and stuff. So any doubt in terms of understanding what is happening here? I will explain that bit for Windows separately in a screenshot. So don't worry about that. But it is essentially the same thing. Formula wise, what you're doing is in VLOOKUP, you are trying to get a key and then getting the range of data from source data. And then you are putting the index number of which column you want. And then either you're doing the approximate match or exact match. You can write true, false, or 0, 1, or whatever. Okay. So any doubt?
One doubt here.
Yeah.
Like as you said, after the A2, and we are selecting the column from the order tables.
Yeah.
So in that part, during selection from the order table, we have to exclude that row ID.
Exclude row. No, you don't have to exclude row. I mean, do you want to talk? Are you saying about this first row
Yes,
like
yes,
this?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
First row.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you want to exclude. If you want, you can. If you don't want, it's fine. So what will happen is, what is happening here is, and fundamentally, if we understand, so A2 is basically 567. Okay.
Mhm.
Wherever it will find in your source data, wherever it will find 567, it will do the match from there. Okay. In this
Right.
particular row, the first row, it won't find 567. So it doesn't matter, even if you select it or if you don't. Right.
Okay, 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 okay. So it actually has to select from the other columns, the main
Yeah,
column we are
you
going to
can
target.
select from A2, but yeah, it will do the same thing. It won't find a row ID name in that particular bit. So if
Okay.
you don't want to basically, so yeah, you can
We
try
can
this
start
as
from
well.
second column as well. Stack second to the three or four or five columns, whatever. Right?
You try, so just copy paste this formula, see what is happening here. Okay. Copy this formula, okay, and paste it here. Sorry, there are some things in, I mean, Mac and Microsoft apps don't go hand in hand. That is the problem. So instead of A2, I'll just select A1. Okay.
Mhm.
What is happening? Okay. Everything is come. Now, if I select from, instead of A2, if I select A1, so now it has captured row ID as its key now. And if it has seen that I have not copy pasted order priority, it has seen that row ID is basically my one of the key from A1, and order priority is the column name from the second column. This also it has copy pasted. Obviously, you won't find the exact similarity in terms of formatting, because this is a table formatting in that source data. You won't find, but you will get the values. Okay, like that. So now even this row ID is a key for Excel, and it will give you the column name as well if you put the VLOOKUP. Right? Understood?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So this was about VLOOKUP. Okay. I'll take a very simple example for Hlookup. But before that, do you have any doubt for VLOOKUP? Any other issues? Any other doubt? Cool. Now, I'll just take a subset of this data and we'll see. So let's see. This is for destination. And this is for source. Okay. Now, if we want to see horizontal lookup, okay, So what will happen here is basically whatever rows that we had in our data. Okay, if we want to basically say transpose it and then look it in a horizontal manner, we can do that as well. So let's see what is happening here. Okay, so suppose if I want to grab some information, so mm, let's say use Hlookup. It will give me the lookup value, obviously. Okay, so basically what I'll do is I will take the one particular row ID. So suppose this row ID. Okay, and I want to match it. So this will not come, unfortunately. So I just copy paste it here. And like, let's see, Hlookup. And then I want to match it with our source data. Okay. So what will happen here is I'll just select the key, which is A7 for me, then give the comma, and then give the table array. Okay. I'll just take this. Okay. And so suppose it has taken this range. Okay. Then click on comma. Okay. And then the row name. Okay. Instead of column name, what is happening here is we are taking the row name. So if I want to get the row name like 2 commas and I want to get the approximate match, now it will not give me anything. But if I take 1 G4, have I taken it from A1 to G4? Okay. So yeah, so what is happening here is when I'm trying to match it from this particular row to this particular row, it is not happening because uh, it is trying to match it in terms of horizontal values, not on the vertical values. Okay. So what I'll do is I want to transpose it. Okay. So when we saw the transpose formula, what we saw is if we want to transpose a particular table, just write transpose and then select everything. And then you can see that it has been transposed. Okay. So now you have this particular table transposed in your source. And now if I want to transpose it, okay, again for this row ID, select everything, enter. Now it has been transposed. So what was happening in the Hlookup was it was getting me the particular value. It was trying to match it, but when we were trying to like give the column sorry, row number, index of the row number, it was not matching because it was not taking the row number as per the key ID that we have given it to it. Okay. So now if we want to use Hlookup, now we can do that. So let's see Hlookup, and then see 5 6 7. So I15 comma will take the range of this particular, and then click on 2, click on 0, same thing, range, and there we go, we get the high because it has now selected the second uh, column, sorry, second row. Now if you want to drag it and drop it, what you can see is it's not giving me any value because now it is selecting I6, I7 instead of this. Okay. Now if I lock it, so as I explained, how we can use lock function. So use a dollar and then again use a dollar and then do a lock. Okay. And then use a lock on this particular bit as well. So so now it will lock all the values from this to this. Okay. And then if you want, instead of 2, if you want, you can use any other values as well, and then you can see. So right now, I mean, for 5, 6, 7, it is not giving me any other value because it is not getting, sorry, I locked it for I16. If you lock it for I15, it will give me a particular range. Okay. So D16 to DF22. So this way, you can lock it. So basically it was not possible for our destination and source here because VLOOKUP was taking all the values from the row ID to customer ID. It was not giving me the option. But once we have transposed it, and it is not identifying these values as basically a table, so that's why it is giving us the option to lock it as well. So you can use it to lock it as well. Okay. So now, as you can see, if we want to get transpose, you can, when you transpose it, the same thing. I mean, it will be selecting I15 with from D15 to F21. It's important to give the exact the starting point with the same key. So right now 5, 6, 7 is my key. Okay. And if I'm trying to match it from a data source, it should start from the same key. Okay. If not, then it will go further to search others. But yeah, I mean, it should not be like if I give row ID if the starting point, then it will not select the data. So that's how it works. So basically formula wise the same. We are just doing the same thing, same range, same key ID. It's just that it, instead of column number, it is taking row number, right? And that's why we are picking up I.